Hey there, this is Kristen, and this month's Mystic Craft is a Bottlecap Oracle. So I'm going to show you really quickly how I put this together and show you how I'm going to use it. And I've just used these two products to make this. So first of all, I'm always on the lookout for new oracles, new systems. How can you turn ordinary items into an oracle? How can you divine with just everyday things? So I was in the craft store and I saw this set of their flattened flat bottle caps. And just to show you what they look like, you can see that they just look like a little bottle cap, but it's not raised, it's been flattened. So the edges aren't as rough as like a typical bottle cap would be either. And I did find these in different colors. I liked the black, but I think there was also white and silver. So they're different colors. And I also saw this little sticker book, and you see it is specifically for bottle caps. I'm just going to show you a couple pages. And they're all circular stickers. They fit perfectly inside of the bottle caps. So I bought this one because it's more on trend, and I just thought that the colors and everything were really bright and colorful. And so this is what I've made so far. I did a 12, the little packs come in 12, so I did 12 bottle caps already. And then after I made these, I really saw some other stickers I think I want to use, so I'm going to add a few more to my set. Now, one of the things that I always say that's I think is really important is if you consider yourself a tarot reader, an oracle reader, any kind of reader, diviner, etc., I think it's really important for you to make your own oracle decks, systems, oracles, because what it does, it helps you to see your own symbols reflected back to you. And it gets you kind of an internal lexicon of your own symbolism. And so you'll find also if you study all these different systems, or if you're learning these different systems like tarot, Lenormand, Sibylla, all these different fortune-telling systems, oracle systems, that the same symbols will be repeated over and over and over again. But understanding your own personal associations with those are going to help you to interpret everything in your life. So if you get stuck in traffic one day, there's a message there, there's symbolism there. You know, if your car breaks down, there's symbolism there. When you get sick, there's symbolism there. So once you understand these symbols here, you can understand the symbols that are occurring in your everyday life, and you can start interpreting your life, you know, as a symbol too, kind of like as a waking dream. So let me just show you how easy it is to put these together. I'm just going to move these to the side. I'm going to pull up a couple, and I'm putting the stickers into this part so that they're kind of recessed in this little groove. But you might decide to put them on this side. And I'm only putting them on one side, so the other side is just blank. And I'll show you how I'm going to use them. So I'm just going through the little book. You see it has over 200 pieces. I'm not using any of the really small ones. I'm just using these larger ones. And I'm going to pop this one out. You will find that these are not like regular stickers. They're not paper. They're more of a card stock. I'm just going to put that in the center. And then I'm just pressing it down. And this one says selfie. And this one I'm going to be using for like self-care, focusing on myself, whatever, whenever it shows up in a reading, that's what it means. One thing I will say is, you know, if you're doing this, creating your own oracle, and this goes for any system that you might be using, when you look through the choices or options, pick the ones first that you have an automatic connection to. Like, for example, when I say connection, I mean association. When I see the glasses there, I'm thinking, pay attention. There's something that you need to see. Maybe it could mean read the fine print. I'm just going to pop that in the middle. I'm just kind of pressing it down. And I'm not necessarily planning to seal these, but I guess you could put, you know, something in there. If you knew how to do resin, which I don't, you could probably fill these with resin, and that'd be really neat. Or even just maybe some Mod Podge or something just to cover that up. But for right now, I'm just going to leave them as they are. But as you go through your options, think about, you know, what would be your first impression? What's your first association when you see something? Pick those first. And like I was saying about symbols that are repeated over and over again, here you can see an anchor. And if you've studied Lenormand, you know there's an anchor there. If you've studied Sibylla, there's another card with an anchor. So like I said, once you get familiar with symbols in one system, you can apply them to other systems as well. And then you'll have a better sense of what that anchor means. And again, there's really layers too, because each system might use anchor in a slightly different way. Okay, so let's talk about how to use your Bottlecap Oracle. These are just a couple ideas that I have. I'm sure there's lots of different ways that you could use these. So the way I really intend to use them is to turn them all over and then do what's called a washing method with these bottle caps. So you can see that mixes them up really well. You can do this with cards as well. It's still called a washing method. It just mixes everything up really well. With these, you do want to check them because they will stack very easily. So I'm just kind of making sure they're all separate. And then what I'll probably do is just turn them over. You know, I might have a question, or I'm really planning to use this deck for daily reads, you know, week of, you know, like a week ahead kind of readings, things like that. So I might just turn over a couple. Okay. So, you know, maybe 3 or 4. Just depends on how big my whole set becomes. So when I turn them over, I'm just looking at some key themes or issues, situations that I might expect that day or that week. So with this one, I'm looking at, there's something that I need to pay attention to, maybe looking out for opportunities, looking at fine print, but definitely keeping my eyes open. This particular one is the woman, and I use that for an important woman. It may be somebody that I already know, like a friend or family member, or it could just be someone else who becomes a prominent, you know, female figure for that day or week. And then I use with the bee, I think of busy as a bee or busy bee. So I'm thinking of this one more for working, a lot of work or a lot of busyness running around. So I can look at those 3 and just thinking about those as these would be key things to note for the day or the week. And then you could also use these kind of like in a spread. You could pull out a couple, 1, 2, 3, and maybe you're doing like a 3-card spread, and then each one of these would represent you know, 1 card in a reading, or one position in a spread. So you can read them 1, 2, 3 like that. You could also take these and put them into a little bag, pull them all together, put them into a bag, and then just pull out one at a time. These 2 are stacked, you know, and just do your reading like that. So I think there are lots of different ways that you can use these. I've been having a lot of fun with them, and like I said, my set is going to be growing a little bit more. So I hope that you have fun putting together your own bottle cap oracle, and I would love to know how you're using them.